Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. I've been doing some research on all these college football teams and I came across Penn State and I thought you might enjoy this video. It's a kind of a preview on what to expect for Michigan fans, and if you're a Penn State fan, feel free to watch along. Uh, I wasn't going to do Indiana and bore you with that or some of the other teams, so Penn State, here we go. James Franklin is entering his 10th season at Penn State. He is 78-36 there, and he won the Big Ten in 2016. Franklin also has 4 11-win seasons, including last season, which was an 11-2 record and a Rose Bowl victory for Penn State. Now I'm going to go through some of the positions. Quarterback, Old Faithful Sean Clifford is gone now, and Penn State fans are hoping that Drew Aller, the sophomore, can be a better quarterback than Clifford was. Aller is a big guy, 6'5", 242 pounds. He, in limited garbage time action, had 35 completions on 60 attempts, which is 58%. He had 344 yards, and that's only good for 5.7 average per completion. 4 touchdowns, but no interceptions. So this guy has a lot to prove for this Penn State team. He's not a big threat to run as well. 18 rushes for 52 yards and 2.9 average is what that is, and 1 touchdown. Now, they seemed relatively thin at running back and wide receiver until they hit the transfer portal and got some guys there. At running back, they have Katron Allen in his second season, 167 yards, or 160 carries, 67 carries for 867 yards, a lot of 6s and 7s there. 5.2 average and 10 touchdowns. He also had 188 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. And then his partner in crime, Nick Singleton, is in his second season as well. Had 156 carries for 1,061 yards, 6.8 average, 12 touchdowns, and he had 85 receiving yards and a touchdown last season as a freshman. So them two guys. And then enter the transfer Trey Potts from Minnesota. Had 101 carries for 474 yards, 4.7 clip, and 3 touchdowns. So pretty stout there in the running back room. I'm not surprised that a lot of people are as high on Penn State as they are. And then at wide receiver, Keandre Lambert-Smith is a junior. He had 24 receptions for 389 yards, 16.2 average, and 4 touchdowns. Harris Wallace III is a sophomore, had 19 catches for 273 yards, 14.4 average, and 1 touchdown. And that's what it was before a couple of transfers came in for Penn State at wide receiver. And they are senior Dante Cephas, 48 receptions for 744 yards, 15.5 average, and 3 touchdowns. He comes from Kent State. And a junior, Malik McLean, had 17 catches for 206 yards, 12.1 average, 3 touchdowns, and he came from Florida State. So good additions there to get some depth at the wide receiver position. At tight end, Theo Johnson is a junior, 20 receptions for 328 yards, 16.4 average, and 4 touchdowns. And then Tyler Warren, a junior, had 10 catches for 123 yards, 12.3 average, and 3 touchdowns. And they lost Brenton Strange to the NFL. We'll see what these young bucks can do if they can add to them numbers this season. Now some defensive notables here. They have a lot of linebackers here. Abdul Carter, sophomore, had 56 tackles, 6.5 sacks, and 4 passes defense last season. Another linebacker, Curtis Jacobs, a junior, had 52 tackles, 4 sacks, and 1 interception. Linebacker Tyler Elsden, a junior, had 44 tackles and 1 sack. And linebacker Kobe King, a sophomore, had 41 tackles last season. In the secondary, you have cornerback Kalen King, he's a junior, had 30 tackles last season, 3 interceptions, and 15 PBUs. Cornerback Johnny Dixon is a senior, 23 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 8 PBUs, and 3 sacks. So pretty all-around player there. And then at safety, Zaki Wheatley, a sophomore, had 27 tackles and 2 interceptions last season in the secondary. On the defensive line, there's a couple standouts here, both defensive end. Ramian, or Damian Robinson, 25 tackles and 5.5 sacks. Sorry if I butcher some of these names. And then Adissa Isaac, a senior, had 28 tackles and 4 sacks last season. Now, Michigan destroyed Penn State last year in the second half, but Penn State blew everyone else out besides Ohio State. I expect a closer game, but other than an interception and a long run by Clifford in the first half last season, Penn State did almost nothing against Michigan. Michigan leads the series 16-10. There have been no ties in this series, and Michigan has won the last 2 meetings. This time it is in Happy Valley. Let's just go over the schedule here. Penn State has 920 wins, 406 losses, and 42 ties all time. They claim 2 national championships and 4 conference championships. Their schedule is as follows. They have West Virginia at home, should be a win. Delaware is a win. At Illinois, iffy, but I think, maybe they should probably win that. Iowa at home. At Northwestern is a win. Massachusetts, win. And then at Ohio State is an iffy one. They have Indiana at home, win. At Maryland, win. They beat them 30-0 last season. Michigan, I'm not going to say yet, but it's going to be tough for them. Rutgers is a win, and then at Michigan State is a win. So at the very least, 9-3. I'm thinking more like 10-2, 11-1. Could be 12-0. They're a pretty talented team. I had them in my top 7 odds to win the national championship and in my top 15 after spring. So there you have it, Penn State in a nutshell. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And Ohio, you know who's next for these. It's going to be Ohio State, and I'll break down their rosters. But in the meantime, I had a Michigan offensive video, their depth chart on offense. I plan on doing a defense video for Michigan, and then maybe special teams will be included in that one. And then it's getting pretty close to prediction time for every team and every conference, so stay tuned for all of them. Hit the notification bell so you know when them videos are posted after you subscribed. And have a great weekend. Tomorrow is Father's Day, so all of you fathers out there, I hope you get to enjoy the day tomorrow. We're going to have a family barbecue out at a family plot of land that we all chip into. We're going to have a barbecue and play some horseshoes and play some cards and have a good time. So I hope you guys can all have a great day as well. Happy Father's Day, and go Blue.